Hey everybody, welcome into the Thinking Crypto podcast, your home for cryptocurrency news and interviews. I'm your host, Tony Edward. On your way in, please hit that subscribe button as well as a thumbs up button and leave a comment below. If you're listening on a podcast platform such as Spotify or Apple, please leave a 5-star rating and review. Folks, not too much to talk about as it relates to the price, but I did want to highlight that Bitcoin on the daily chart, the MACD has flipped bullish. So we got our first green bar here, and let's see how far this takes us. As I've been saying, we got to be patient. The market is still recovering from that October 13th dump and manipulation, and you still have some headwinds because we're still waiting for the government to reopen. We're still waiting for the tariff situation to resolve. Obviously, we're going to wait for the Fed to see their decision next week or this coming week with regards to rate cuts, in addition to other factors. So there's a lot on the horizon, but we got to be patient and just let the market do its thing. But as I stated in yesterday's podcast and in my newsletter, we're seeing some positive signs here. Now, we need Bitcoin to close this week strong. So tomorrow, Sunday, of course, we need a strong close. I think above 111,000 would be really good because right now on the weekly chart, the bears are still in control. Now on the monthly, the bulls are in control. But again, the market has to do its thing. We got to start seeing the strength. But look, we can still get faked out and go test some lows, right? We've seen these things time and time again. So let's see what happens. Let's be patient. One thing we continue to see is that global liquidity continues to break out, and that has been leading all asset classes. And we saw gold hit a top, whether that's local or the blow-off top, I don't know. But then the S&P 500 started hitting new all-time highs. So we're starting to see the rotation. So again, we got to be patient. Tom Lee, who's made some very great calls throughout this bull market cycle, he is expecting crypto to rally into the end of the year and says the S&P 500 could climb another 10%. So again, he's made some great calls, but obviously doesn't mean he's absolutely going to be right with this call. But I do believe the higher probabilities on his side for his take here because of the data, not emotions, not feelings, not bias. Simply the data does align with his narrative that he's saying here. And so fingers crossed all of this plays out, right, folks? All right. I want to talk about Coinbase's base layer 2 token that is coming, folks, because we got an update from JP Morgan. Now, I'm not one to take investment advice from JP Morgan, but the point is, it looks like they're trying to prep the market for this launch. So Coinbase stock surges after JP Morgan upgrade on base USDC potential. So JP Morgan Chase upgraded the cryptocurrency exchange, highlighting the new monetization opportunities tied to its base network and USDC payout strategy. The bank's analysts lifted their rating to overweight from neutral and raised their price target to $404 per share, implying roughly 15% upside from current levels. JP Morgan said Coinbase is leaning into its base layer 2 blockchain and exploring ways to better capture value from the platform's growth. The bank estimated that the launch of a base token could represent a $12 billion to $34 billion market opportunity, with Coinbase's retained share potentially worth $4 billion to $12 billion. Analysts noted that the token's distribution would likely prioritize developers, validators, and base community. So folks, there's an opportunity here. I agree with JP Morgan on this. Once again, I'm not taking advice from them. I'm just reporting the news, but we have seen Coinbase grow significantly. They're the largest exchange in the United States with a very strong brand. They have expanded internationally and they continue to do so. They launched Base, which is getting a lot of adoption. Even JP Morgan has been tokenizing on Base, and you have other institutions as well. And there have been rumors and statements from certain folks at Coinbase that they're going to launch a token. Now, this is a token I will look at investing in. So I'm not telling you you should do that. You should do your own research, but I'm going to look into doing this because I think this will capture a lot of value. Again, with the brand, the positioning of Coinbase in the United States, you got the crypto market structure bill coming up, right? We often talk about one of the top signals is when the Coinbase app ranking hits, 1 through 10. It's in the top 10, sometimes going to number 1. Those are top signals, right? Because it's showing that retail is here. So Coinbase has a massive brand. It's one of the most trusted exchanges, right? So this is a coin I will be looking to invest in. Now, will I go buy as soon as it launches and if it's near the peak of the market? Hell no, right? I'm going to wait for it to correct and like in the bear market and then buy. Now, you can go buy the top if you want. That's your prerogative, but I'm just telling you that's what I'm doing, and I'm gonna do what has paid off for me: buying the blood on the streets, never buying into pumps, and being patient and let the coins do their thing as the bull market heats up. So, guys, putting this on your radar, let's watch this coin. You see what Binance's coin BNB has done. I mean, that thing is over $1,000, right? And I do believe Base's token can do really well. So again, something to keep on your radar. Now, speaking of Binance, huge news: Kyrgyzstan to launch a stablecoin in BNB, plans CBDC in partnership with advisor Changpeng Zhao. So we know CZ was added as an advisor, so they got their foot in the door. Binance is going to be the one supporting them in many different ways. So it's amazing to see these countries building with crypto, right? And setting up different crypto products and using the blockchain technology and much more. So the Central Asian nation of Kyrgyzstan has rolled out a new stablecoin, KGST, pegged one-to-one to the country's SOM currency. President Sadir Japarov announced on Friday following a meeting that included Binance founder Changpeng Zhao. Zhao signed an agreement with Kyrgyzstan's National Investment Agency in April, pledging to cooperate with the government in cryptocurrency and blockchain development in the nation. Now, following the second meeting of the nation's National Council for the Development of Virtual Assets and Blockchain Technologies, Kyrgyzstan is rolling out the KGST stablecoin pegged to the country's SOM currency, the government announced. Japarov also issued other crypto-related decrees following the meeting, instructing the country's economy ministry to improve the legislative framework for digital assets, calling on the council to submit proposals for a state cryptocurrency reserve within 2 months, and telling the national bank to begin pilot testing of the digital SOM, a CBDC apparently separate from the KGST stablecoin. Wow, lots happening here, guys. Very bullish for the country itself. Very bullish for the adoption of crypto, because neighboring countries are going to be paying attention to this. Game theory will play out, and this is very big for Binance. Clearly, they're going to be building on the Binance Smart Chain, and Binance is probably going to help facilitate a lot of this. So pretty incredible move here by Binance, very strategic. And like I said, guys, I'm sure they're going to get calls from the other countries who are participating. CZ himself, he tweeted out about this and highlighted all of these respective wins. So incredible stuff here. Now, folks, this episode is brought to you by Propy. Propy's leading the charge with putting real estate on chain. I'm a Propy token holder. I have been since 2018 because when I discovered them, I recognized they were ahead of the curve in trying to disrupt the real estate market with blockchain tech and, of course, moving real estate on chain. We know tokenization is the future of finance. All assets will trade on the blockchain, and we know real estate is the world's largest asset class. So it's going on the blockchain. So with Propy, you can buy and sell real estate with cryptocurrencies. If you want to sell your house for Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever it is, you can do that, which is pretty incredible. And of course, their platform is powered by blockchain. They've put deeds on chain. They use Coinbase for the crypto escrow service. And folks, they've done over $4 billion in deals. Legendary billionaire investor Tim Draper is an investor in Propy, and they are partnered with a lot of the real estate associations across the United States and much more, folks. So I'm very bullish on this project. Once again, I'm a token holder, have been for a long time. It's one of my long-term bets because I see where the puck is heading with real estate being disrupted by blockchain. So folks, if you'd like to learn more about Propy, go to propy.com. Link will be in the description. Now check this news out, guys. This is cool adoption news. Ferrari to launch digital token to let fans bid on its Le Mans winning race car. So you may not be into cars, you may not be into Ferrari and car racing and much more. I love Ferrari as a company and a brand in the cars. I wish I could own one, maybe as, I take profits in this bull market. But of course, I think I have some smarter things to do with the money right now, take care of your family, eliminate debt, things like that, right? But, you never know. I wouldn't mind buying a classic Ferrari, not necessarily a new one. But anyway, I digress. This is really cool adoption. We're going to see many brands and companies around the world use blockchain technology, get creative, get people to be more involved with their brands and give them more ownership, right? That's what this technology opens up. So let me give you the details here. Ferrari is entering the cryptocurrency world with plans to launch a digital token that will allow its wealthiest fans to bid on one of its most iconic racing cars, the Ferrari 499P, a Le Mans winning endurance model. The Italian carmaker will issue the token Ferrari 499P in partnership with fintech firm Coinio, aimed exclusively at members of its Hyperclub, a private network of 100 elite clients with a passion for endurance racing, according to a Saturday report by Reuters. Here's a quote: "This is about strengthening the sense of belonging amongst our most loyal customers," Enrico Galliera, Ferrari's chief marketing and commercial officer, reportedly said. Holders of the token will be able to trade among themselves and participate in exclusive auctions, including one for the 499P. The initiative is set to debut alongside the 2027 World Endurance Championship season. So, folks, as I've been saying for years, we're headed to the token economy. Many brands and companies will have this, and I've often said the markets, the governments, and the economies will all be running on blockchain rails. So really cool news here. And I've often talked about crypto as a global asset class. In fact, the first truly global asset class. Some people will say, what about gold, Tony? Well, gold, you can't easily verify the supply. You don't have real-time settlement. You don't have portability. You don't have divisibility. You know the benefits, right? So you have all of that with crypto, the touch of a button on your phone. You don't have that with gold. Even though, a lot of people around the world may say, I hold gold, but again, all of that was not verifiable. It was incredibly segmented, right? But with crypto, man, you can plug into the blockchain and see everything that's happening, right? And what's moving, which wallets, again, the instant settlement, and much, much more. So, and this is because of the internet, right? You're seeing all these networks are built on the internet and everybody's pretty much connected to the internet. All you need is a smartphone. You don't even need a laptop. So countries across Africa approve new crypto laws as adoption grows. So yesterday, the governor of the Bank of Ghana, the country's central bank, said the crypto regulations will be in place by the end of 2025. This follows draft guidelines the bank published last year. By introducing a strong legal footing for crypto investors and companies, Ghana will join 9 other countries on the continent that have laws in place for digital assets. In general, crypto adoption is growing in Africa, particularly in sub-Saharan Africa. Grassroots adoption and retail activity make it the 3rd fastest growing region for crypto. Lawmakers are taking notice. Here's a look at 10 countries that have developed or are developing specific legal frameworks. So it includes Kenya, Tanzania, Seychelles, Mauritius, Botswana, South Africa, Namibia, Rwanda, Nigeria, Ghana. So guys, this is incredible. I mean, many folks in these countries, they are recognizing that this is a store of value and they can do a lot of things. They can earn better. And I think people are going to start waking up more and more to this, and there's going to be more adoption. And I think the governments are recognizing it. And look, I think we know all governments are going to embrace this. And I've said many times, any country that bans cryptos is writing their economic death sentence. So this is really, really bullish, guys. Really great to see. Final news item here: Tether eyes fresh investments to push USAT stablecoin to 100 million Americans at December launch. So many of you know this is Tether's USA compliant stablecoin called USAT, and they're going to launch it in December, and it looks like they're going to raise capital to do so. I plan to have Bo Hines, who is heading up this, and we'll talk about all the details, but this is pretty cool. So mark your calendars here. Tether's launching this come December, and let's see how they make the push. The US market is very competitive, to say the least, right? You got USDT already in the market. Some people use that. You got USDC, you got PayPal's PYUSD, you got Ripple's RLUSD, and there's some others as well, but incredible. Let's see how it plays out. Competition's good for consumers and us as users. So let's see how it all plays out. But this is very interesting. Folks, that's the news. Let me know what you think. Leave your thoughts and comments below. Hit the thumbs up button if you appreciated this content. Please support the podcast by subscribing to my free email newsletter on Substack. It is 100% free. I put out a write-up yesterday, so check it out. And also check out my book on Amazon. It's available in paperback and digital, and my course at mycryptocourse.com. This is a comprehensive course that teaches you everything about crypto. So check it out, folks. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you all, and I'll talk to you all later.